All right, we welcome you to the fourth session in our new faculty cohort, new and newer faculty cohort for the fall 16 term. Our presentations take a little bit of a turn this week. We had spent the first couple of weeks looking at specific issues relating to pedagogy. Today we begin taking a look at some issues relating to technology and apps and the like. And our presenter today, as you can see from the title slide, is Dr. Allan Davis from the School of Communications and Information Systems, and more specifically, from the CIS department. Gary, welcome. As soon as he's done passing out the couple of handouts he has, there he is. He is ready to go.
Call me G, as in G, can we get this election season over with? So I can't promise that this will be the most fun presentation that you've ever attended, but I can promise this is going to be more fun than the debate that you watched Sunday night. I hope it's more fun. So,
can I loom behind you?
Yeah. Please. So when Anthony asked me to do this, I wasn't sure exactly what he wanted me to present, and he mentioned some technology that you might use in the classroom with students. So I got to thinking about smartphones, because all of our students, or most all of our students, have smartphones, right? And we know they have smartphones because when we're standing up here lecturing, all we see is this. So they're either on smartphones or they're doing like needlepoint or something they don't want to show us. But I guess it's probably smartphones. How many people have a smartphone with them today? Good, because we're going to need them, because this is audience participation. So I found some tools that you can use with your students that use smartphones. They're on them anyway, so you might as well have them doing something that allows them to participate with the class. So I have three things that I wanted to show you today. I don't know if we'll have time to get through all three, but we'll try. We'll see how the time goes. The three tools that I wanted to talk about today, as you can see up here, the first one, Poll Anywhere, where, as it says, students can take quick polls using their smartphones, and you can instantaneously see the results up on the screen. The next tool is called Kahoot, and this one is kind of the same concept, but they're quiz games instead of polls. So again, the students participate with a smartphone, and they're answering quiz questions, and it keeps points. It keeps track of their points. You can do either individual students or you can do groups, and it shows the points up on the screen. So it shows you, who's leading, has a leaderboard. You can export that stuff into a spreadsheet if you want to incorporate it into a grade for the students. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you, if we have time today, is QuestionPro. The first two are free. Well, there's a free version, a limited free version. The last one, Robert Morris actually has a site license for the QuestionPro. So if you signed up for an account, I think maybe you were sent an email prior to this. So if you sign up an account through the RMU QuestionPro site, then you have the unlimited site license. And out of these three tools, QuestionPro is probably the most powerful, the most flexible. So with this one, you can do any kind of surveys, any kind of questionnaires, really detailed stuff. It also, by the way, works on a smartphone. So if you wanted to do more in-depth surveys in a classroom, again, you could have your students pull out their smartphones and take a survey right there. It also exports to Excel, and it does some of its own analytics. I'll show you. It does some of its own basic analytics, but then of course you have the option to export it to Excel if you want to do more, or if you want to bring it into SPSS and do things like that. So, any questions? Has anyone used any of these three tools? What have you used?
QuestionPro.
You use QuestionPro? Any of the other stuff? No? Good. So, the first thing I wanted to show you is the poll everywhere. Now, I set up these questions ahead of time because you do have to come up with your questions and kind of set them up. They're not difficult to set up, but you want to set them up ahead of time. So the way that this works is I have my questions in here. I call this poll what are your favorites? So I have questions like, what's your favorite type of movie? Oh, that's not where I wanted to go, sorry. Edit. There we go. So I have questions like, what is your favorite type of movie? And I type in different movie genres here. That's one question. And then, what else do I have in here? What's your favorite science fiction movie? What's your favorite, well, you'll see, you'll see. So there's a couple ways that you can do this. You can present the students with the entire poll, and they kind of go through it on their own, or you can take it question by question and show them the results as they're answering it. So if I go to the first question, for example, what's your favorite type of movie? Here's my categories: drama, action, adventure, comedy, thriller, horror, and fantasy, sci-fi. So you'll notice up here at the top of the screen, it gives you a website. So if you have your smartphones with you, if you go into a browser on your phone.
If you don't have a smartphone but you have a laptop, will it work on that also?
Yes,
It would
yes.
work on a laptop too?
It'll work on a laptop, smartphone. You can even text. If your phone only does texting, notice that there's a texting option. You can text Prof. Davis 210 to this number and then make your choice. So you can even just text. And they make an app. They make an app that you have to download. But the easiest way is probably just to go to their mobile site. So you have to go to Poll EV. Oh, somebody's already voting.
Excellent.
PollEV.com. They let me put in the Prof. Davis, but they assigned that number. I don't know what 210 means. They randomly assigned it. If you pay, by the way, if you pay their subscription price, you can make up any name that you want. But
So should we put in Davis just for now?
yeah, just put this exactly as it is right here with the 210. And that should take you to the current poll, which is this one.
Shall you vote twice?
Can I vote twice? This is not Chicago.
Well, no, I'm glad you asked. That's actually an option. Not if there's a Trump supporter. There's an option in the software you can choose. You can say allow only one vote per student or allow multiple votes per student. I think I set this up as one. Did anyone try to vote more than once?
Go ahead, Ping. Try to vote more than once. Let's see what happens.
You can clear your response.
You can't, yeah. I must have set it up to vote only once. But you can clear out your responses. Somebody figured that out.
Excellent.
So it looks like comedy's winning. Well, maybe not.
Not anymore.
Multiple votes now that you've changing it?
No, they're clearing them out, I think. They're clearing out their votes and re-voting.
All right, who's having fun in here? So this essentially then will register the vote in real time.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 of you. So somebody has not
Yes,
yet
mine says Safari cannot open page because the server cannot be found.
use the laptop. See if that works. See if that works.
All right.
You don't have romance up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a guy, right?
Romantic comedy.
No.
No?
No.
Romance.
Drama.
Drama, that's drama. To a guy, that's drama.
Recommended.
Yes.
Now, is there a limit to the number of questions you can build at any one time?
I don't believe so. However, there is a limit on participants with the free version. So with the free version, you only get 25 responses.
Okay,
If you want more, you gotta pay, unfortunately.
okay.
So yeah, since I'm on the free version here, we could only have 25 of you respond. Once
At
you get-
one time?
At one time.
At one time.
Right, right. Once it gets to 25, the other responses are ignored. So I mean, if you have a large class, I guess you could break them up into pairs or something, or groups, or pay. Were you able to get on the website?
Yeah, I voted.
Oh, okay.
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi, cool. Well, that's good because the next question is
Two devices means double voting.
Oh, there you go. So Ben is the troublemaker. No.
So now we know what's going to happen this election.
here we go. So to go to the next question, you just click these arrows down here. So the next question was, what is your all-time favorite science fiction movie? So that question should automatically pop up on your screen.
Are you guys seeing it in your, all right, so it's not showing up on the big screen, but it looks like the vote, you guys can go ahead and vote at this point?
Now this one, you have to type it in. You have to type in,
Oh, okay, it's
Oh.
not options.
Okay.
right. This is right, there you go. And it does a word cloud. So I was hoping a lot of people would say Star Wars.
Oh, interesting. That looking pretty. That's this part.
Here, I'll type in something else just to mix it up. Book?
Book of Eli. It's with Denzel Washington.
Oh. Here, how about Blade Runner? And the more people who pick one thing, the bigger the.
Bigger the
have you
word
seen word
gets.
clouds before?
Yes.
So the more people who pick one thing, the larger that word will be. So I was assuming many people would pick Star Wars, which looks like they are, so that's why it's bigger.
Star Trek. So Star will probably get bigger if someone else puts Star
That's
Trek
true,
in, right?
yeah. Somebody put Star Trek in.
Ben, vote a second time, go ahead.
Third time.
Or third time. You were-
You do
I
Star
don't have
Trek.
devices.
The Next Generation. Oh no, mine has a no signal. It won't let me.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't clear this one.
You can't clear it out once you send it? Yeah, so don't send any dirty words. Good locker room talk. So that's free text entry with the word cloud. Let's see what else I have here. I tried to give different examples of polls that you could use. Oh, this one is a ranking. This is a ranking example. So any Batman fans out there?
Yes.
Now you can rank order your favorite Batman actor.
What about Lego Batman?
I know. I Googled actors who played Batman, and there was like hundreds, like even the cartoon voices, and I'm like, I gotta limit this. But I got Adam West, the
Now,
original.
is 6 the maximum number of options you can have in a or in a question?
I don't think so.
Well,
Okay.
I don't think so.
So the box highlights. How do we? I'm clicking on the little.
You move it up and down.
Oh,
You
I'm
move
on-
the
I'm on the
boxes.
Okay.
Right, so I've seen that.
Oh, okay.
The
So like
side
I can.
thing
I
on the line.
see.
Yeah,
Got it.
drag and drop to
Okay,
rank order
okay.
them. So the ones at the top will be your favorite, and the ones at the bottom will be your least favorite.
Okay.
And I have to confess, I haven't seen the new
Wow.
Batman versus Superman, so I can't offer an opinion on Ben Affleck. Has anyone seen it?
No.
Yeah.
Wasn't Christian Bale the Batman for the one that was shot in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why he's coming in first. I see. He's got the home
I didn't
team
know that was
advantage.
shot-
It was good.
Well,
Which
Michael
one
Keaton's
was
the
shot
Batman
in
from
Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
And Michael Keaton is from Pittsburgh. That's right.
The third one.
yes.
With Bane.
Michael Keaton's from Pittsburgh.
Michael Keaton's from Pittsburgh.
Oh,
that's
He
right.
is, and that is not his last name. I actually
True.
interviewed his brother when I wrote my choreography history book.
It's Michael Douglas.
Michael
But
Douglas.
there already was a Michael Douglas. So he
Right.
picked, his favorite actress was Diane Keaton.
Diane
So that's why he
Keaton.
picked her.
That's absolutely correct.
See that added knowledge you get here?
That's
I love
it.
The
What's it called?
trivia.
Value added? Is that the term?
The value add.
So it looks like Christian Bale wins out, maybe because of the Pittsburgh connection.
It's really cute, too.
Yeah.
And again, I'm pointing it out just so for mostly for the video recording. If you notice at the bottom right there are two arrows, one that points towards the right, one that points towards the left. Gary, I'm assuming if you pick the one towards the left, it takes you to
Goes
the
back.
previous question?
Right.
Okay.
Right, goes back. Yeah, so there's our responses from the previous one. And as you said, the right arrow takes you to the next poll. These other buttons over here, this is full screen mode, which I'm in right now. This clears out the responses. So if you want to clear them out and start over. This locks the polls. I can lock you out so that you can't submit any other responses. And that just hides the word cloud, I guess. And there's other things that you can set, like colors and font sizes and so forth.
Do you have any idea who's submitting what on this, or is it's all anonymous?
No, this is anonymous.
Is there a way to track the IP address from the person who voted, or where it comes from?
I didn't see that in this app. Not to say that it's not there, but I didn't see it. Now the next thing that I show you, the Kahoot, it's going to have you put in a name. So, because you're keeping score for games, so you can have the students put in their name or make up a nickname or something. And especially if you're going to have a count toward a grade, if you're going to download it into a spreadsheet, you're going to want to know their names.
Mhm.
But this one's anonymous. So this is the last example I wanted to show you. You can have any kind of graphic. The maps come with it. A US map and a world map comes with it, but you can upload your own graphic to this and have people pick something on the graphic. So this one, just to show how this works, I have what is your favorite vacation spot? I know I got away from the movie theme for a second. So here you're going to pick, by touching on your screen, you're going to pick a place on the map. And if people start, somebody likes Antarctica. Yes.
Where you've been or where you want to go?
Well, whatever's your favorite.
Whatever.
I don't know.
There you go.
Either
I'll
one.
go to Antarctica too.
Now, somebody picked Texas? Or is it
Yeah, South
somebody picked in the middle of the ocean?
Bermuda Triangle.
It's a little small on here, so you can't quite get.
Who's the Antarctica person? I want to know. We allowed to ask?
Oh, I
don't
just
know.
threw it down there.
I don't know, but now they got a neighbor.
It's $10,000 for an expedition. I priced it.
Wow.
My bucket list.
Professor Davis.
Yes.
What if a student does not have a smartphone or is not in a lab, does not have a laptop, then it will feel really left out?
Pair them up with someone who does.
And then the answer is not really, answered twice.
But didn't you say at the beginning you can text answers
Yeah,
too?
you can text. I'm not sure how this works with the texting, but the multiple choice, obviously, you can text. Or the one-word responses, you can text.
Are you saying they don't have a phone altogether?
Yeah, the smartphone or what if they don't?
They don't have it with them that day, something like that.
Or have one altogether? I mean, I haven't met a student yet that doesn't have a smartphone. I've had students that don't have computers or iPads or things like that.
You need something that has internet
But-
connectivity. And
Now,
then-
Gary, let me ask you a
That's
separate
a good
question.
question, though. 'Cause that's
This we're basically looking at in real time.
Mhm.
If you wanted to email your students before class and have them answer in advance, could you email this in some form or fashion, or does Poll Everywhere have to be done in real time?
There is this option to give everyone the entire poll all at once. So, for example, if I pick up here at the top, now if you refresh your screen, what do you see? You should see this, right?
I see the vacation
No, it's
spot.
still on vacation spot. Okay. Expand to activate. Oh, here we go. There we go. Try it now.
Okay.
Yeah, so now you see the entire thing. So now you could go through the entire poll
Okay.
on your own.
Okay.
To your question, I think you, as the instructor, I think you'd have to leave this up and leave it active
Okay.
while they're taking it.
Okay.
So if it's something that you want them to complete ahead of time, at their leisure, like any time, for something like that, probably the QuestionPro would be better,
Okay.
because that's a link that you can email out or post for someone. This is designed more for real-time class interaction. So as you can see, this allows the students to go through it on their own, and it's tracking the responses to each one of my questions. So then I could go over all the responses all at once after everyone had completed it.
Now, I have a quick,
Go ahead.
okay. Now I see we're doing this through your account, but I'm still a little unclear how we could do this through our own. Do we subscribe to this? Is this?
Well, if you want to create your own polls for your own classes, you need to sign up through them. It's free. You have to put in an email.
Okay.
The basic account is free. And as I said, that gives you up to 25 participants.
And you've been showing us the basic.
And this is, yeah, I did not pay for the,
And it's just pollev.com?
no, Poll Everywhere.
Poll Everywhere.
This is where you want to go to sign up.
Polleverywhere.com.
Yeah, it's on the these slides that I
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, to sign up for your account, you want to go to polleverywhere.com. The students, to participate, they go to pollev.
Gotcha.
And as you can see, after the free version, it goes up to $19 a month or $80 a month or whatever.
How can you control the time? How many minutes it needs to get a pull back? Because like you can ask the students, just raise your hands, that's quicker, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
And now-
but they're not paying attention because they're on their smartphone. So now they have something to do on their smartphone besides
Then they got
Facebook and Twitter.
excuses. They can always use a smartphone because, okay, I really need it. Then they,
It's anonymous. Raising your hand is not anonymous.
oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
That's a good point.
That's true.
Because I see this in, how do you use this more as kind of a way to gauge that they got, I give a little lecture on a few terms and then I might have some
Yeah, check
basic
understanding.
questions, just probably more not that like, oh, you got it right or wrong, but as a gauge on whether they're getting the concepts that you taught that day or the day before.
You have a setting to control the schedule, right?
Yeah, it's the timer that can be
Control
shown.
the availability of this survey or,
I don't know if there's a timer, but you can turn it off.
oh, you can turn it.
Yeah, you can shut it off when you want to stop receiving responses. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing here, sorry.
So I think as an instructor, it's better to have like a timer of some sort or tell the students within 2 minutes, please answer, because the instructor better not to wait forever. Just the one person is being distracted.
Well, that might be,
Just the extreme case, but
I mean, I don't know that much about the paid version, but that might be an option in the paid version. So one thing that you don't have with this, with the free version, is any kind of export or reporting. So if you wanted to keep their responses and export them into something, that's not included in the free. So that's only in the paid upgrade. So there may be other features like that, like timers and things that you get if you subscribe and pay.
I think it'd be interesting too to use this in a way that provided all the students are able to bring in some sort of technology that day, regarding like how are they paying attention to the timing of it. If you do it as a group activity like we're doing it now, it's a good way to quiz students on like information that I taught throughout the day. Let's do a review. And and if they don't know it and they got it wrong, they're not embarrassed because they raised their hand and didn't know. And if they got it right, then it's confirmation that they're absorbing the material. And this is succinct enough with a couple questions that you can just kind of go over. So it's okay, so let's do a review. Everybody pull out your technology and let's see, you know, and then I can assess as an instructor where was I maybe not effective in, you know, what was everybody missing? Obviously, I need to go over that content again because they didn't absorb it.
I almost forgot to show the last question. So this looks like some of you found it, but the last question I had was how would you use Poll Everywhere with your students? And as you can see, some people are typing in things. So this would be a good way to do brainstorming. Do a brainstorming session.
But the issue, because it's anonymous, then someone may have some locker room discussions right there. Just
No locker room discussion.
I know, but it cannot prevent. There's no control. There's no filter. It's real time. Like somebody can input some junk information or some like really offensive information. You cannot prevent that, and then show right out in the screen. So that's can become like a discriminating, saying I don't like all these students or something. You know, you never know what will come out of the students.
That's true.
I hope our classroom environment is more respectful. I mean,
With-
I could see that,
When
but then that's a great teaching moment, right?
I was
You
just
turn
gonna
off
say.
And you lecture on respect.
I think it comes from the professor as well, because I have 2 or 3 of my classes are full of international students, and the climate of my classroom, the culture of my classroom, it is understood. We are in this together. We are together as a group, and you know our differences will complement each other, and you know to have that as a learning moment for the students. I mean, certainly if that would be a response in my class, I think as a professor, you're a leader in the classroom. I would hope to, you know, lead my students to understand that this is, you know, we're on this together. We're all Army students. It's developing pathos with each other, you know. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know, but I know from my experience, I've had several international classroom environments where, you know, students in the same class are from Saudi Arabia, Colombia, France, Australia, the U.S. I mean, you know, we can't deal with that. We need to, as the leader of the classroom, they need to see me emulate how each one of them is respected by me. Every single one matters. But you have a good point.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, as a professor, we're leaders of the classroom.
But I think, and I agree with you, I think individuals, young or old, harbor those sentiments anyway. So as a professor, I would rather have them exposed than for them to play out either implicitly or passive-aggressively within group work or what have you. And I do think that is the opportunity then to engage in. It's uncomfortable, but I think it's an essential part of their learning. One question I was going to ask is, how do you use it? Like, what's an example by which you use that in your classroom?
Now you caught me. I actually learned about these tools at a conference that I just attended recently. So I plan to use these, and that was kind of why I was cheating a little bit there with the last question. I was trying to get your ideas of how I might use it in the classroom, because we're all learning from each other. But yeah, Dr. Wong and I recently attended a conference in Nashville, and there was a presentation about these tools. So that's where I learned. But I do definitely plan to use these in the classroom.
And I think if I would like to use this in the classroom, I will first just give them like fixed answers like A, B, C, D.
Oh, you can do that. Yeah, if you're afraid that someone's going to put something up there that's offensive, yeah, you could do the closed-ended questions.
Because if I think the question is sensitive, you want to have anonymity, then this one is good. However, because of sensitivity, then students may have like a kind of, you cannot control the response. You right away show it on the screen. Maybe what we do is that we could not show on the screen, but show on your desktop or laptop. And at the final, when you have the final, the last answer, then you show, you turn on the screen, on the big screen.
Well,
At the beginning, you get the small screen.
with great power comes great responsibility. that's from Spider-Man.
We have the power to show on the screen or
And you can lock out their responses, so
Yeah,
when
I
it's
mean, I
done,
could-
lock
I
it
could-
out and show it.
Block out the screen, mute out the
Yeah.
screen, and just, and then lock out the survey.
Yeah.
Make sure that no one put anything offensive, no locker room talk. Lock out the survey and then display it. Yeah, you could do that.
In the interest of time, let's go
Yeah,
on to
okay.
Kahoot so we can get this in here as well.
So the Kahoot is similar concept, but here this is a quiz thing. And this one actually does ask them to put in a name or a nickname so it can keep score as they provide answers. So I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but we're in an election year. I don't know if you knew that. Someone just told me. So I came up with a little quiz here to test your knowledge of the Electoral College. So I don't want to get political here, but to test your knowledge of the Electoral College. So I have, again, I have questions that I set up ahead of time. And as you can see, you'll have a time limit and there'll be points awarded if you get the right answer. And everything will be displayed up here real time, so you'll see how other people are answering. So I believe, let me see, if I play this, and you have the option of doing individual players, or you have the team mode, which I haven't really played with, but I'm going to pick the individual players.
How do we get to this?
It's going to come up with a, oh, that's music too. So you want to go to Kahoot.it. Is that going to keep playing the whole time? So go to Kahoot.it, and then when the screen comes up, you're going to type in that PIN number. And then it should ask you, I think, to put in your name or a nickname.
Remember, we're recording this, so if you use a nickname, make it one that will not embarrass anybody.
No locker room.
Yeah, no locker room
Nothing
nickname.
about-
No locker room nicknames, okay?
Five, 4, 5, 5, 5, 7. Yeah, so once you type in the PIN, the next thing it should ask you is for a nickname.
One, two, three, 7 of you, 8 of you.
I am Batman, nice.
And then, do they have to start all at one time? And so towards the middle right there, it says start.
Yeah, so I have to start it so
You
that
start it.
Trump's here. Wow.
You won't know the answer.
All right, let's see what happens.
All right, so we ready? Now, obviously, if you're going to count this as a grade, they're going to have to put in their name, a name
Their
that you
real
can
name,
identify.
yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite? No? So, in what year was the Electoral College established? And you have 20 seconds to answer.
Five of you had to hurry.
Wow.
1787.
I was way wrong.
So, only 2 people got it correct, and 3 people did not get it correct. 2 people picked 1812, 1 person picked 1887.
We'll call the political science faculty, have them come over next week to do a special presentation on civics for all of, no.
And it shows the leaderboard.
So you get more points by answering it more quickly, I'm assuming.
Oh, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So Ben is in the lead. Eli in second.
Oh, so you give points for answering quickly.
Yes,
Like
it's
the
not
Olympic
a,
Games
Well,
of
then I'm not going to
Mars.
look up
Yeah.
on Wikipedia and try to do all my time.
all right, here comes the second question.
What's the total number of electoral votes in the United States? I like the little background music. Oh, everybody must answer.
Everybody answered, so it's
quickly that
over.
time.
Okay.
So, yeah, 4 people got that right. 538.
Let's see if Ben is still in the lead, huh?
Yep.
Ooh.
Commanding lead.
Batman's moving up.
The rest of us are done for.
The rest of you are done for.
Trump's lurking behind us.
Here we go. Here's the next one.
I got every question right. Got them all right. Believe me, I got them all right. All right, the total number of electoral votes in Pennsylvania.
There you go.
Uh-oh,
Ooh.
only 2 people got that one right. 20. 20 electoral votes in Pennsylvania. Uh-oh, Batman's in the
Uh-oh.
lead now.
Well, if Batman beats Trump in the election, we're in good shape.
He cheated, it was
I don't know, Trump could be, you know?
It was fixed.
Maybe Trump is back.
The bill, right? He's Bruce Wayne and Batman.
All right, here's a tough one.
This is a good one.
What 2 states do not use the winner-take-all method of assigning electoral votes? So all other 48 states assign all of their electoral votes to the person who wins that state. These states divide them up proportionally.
Look at that.
Maine and Nebraska. 4 people got that one right.
You're welcome.
Batman's still in the lead. If neither candidate receives a majority of electoral votes, the president is chosen by...
Luck of the draw. No. Rock, paper, scissors.
I would win that. Everybody knows I'm the best at rock, paper, scissors. Everybody knows it. Congress.
Oh,
Yes.
Congress, I did not.
Very nice.
Except in 2000.
Except in
Well,
2000.
Except in 2000.
Because they stopped the recount. The Supreme Court. Oh no! I told you I'd win.
So who's Trump?
Ping your Trump.
This is a foreshadowing.
Well, Trump was a different spelling. Check the spelling. It's different.
Oh.
Trump, you win a wall.
Actually, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not registered.
I don't know, Gary. This tape might have to self-destruct before anybody sees it.
I almost forgot about
Not gonna be able
this.
to edit it.
So you get to rate this game. So if you learn what you thought about it, if you learned anything, how did it make you feel?
Did everybody vote? Come on, vote. So we can see. Particularly, somebody put in a different feeling. I want to see the size of the sort of emojis.
Yeah, someone put in a frowny face.
Yeah. I want to see if the
I'll put one in. There.
Okay, there we go. So it looks like that. It looks like that is based on like a cloud idea, also, right? The more that's picked, the larger the image. And then Gary, if you could take a half a step to the left, I just want people to be able to see on the left there. The yellow item is the rating, and that's a 1 to 5, correct?
Yes.
A 1 to 5. So
So it looks like everyone thought they learned from this. Everyone recommended it. Most people had a pretty good feeling about it.
This could be fun for like test review.
yes.
Yes.
Get a few sample multiple choice questions. Put them in teams. The winning team gets a bonus point on the
Sure,
test.
that's good idea. Good
And as I said, with this one, the free version of this does let you download the responses. So here I downloaded them into a spreadsheet. And now if you wanted to include it in their for their grade, there we go. So you can download it into Excel or you can download it into Google Sheets. And it captures everything for you. Do we have time to talk about QuestionPro or is
Got
my
about-
time up?
We got about 10-ish minutes.
Okay.
Has anybody ever quantified ish? Is that like you got a minute more, a minute less? What is ish actually?
Tuesday Men Black 3, and he's on the roof. He's like, yeah,
That's it. That's it.
So the last tool I wanted to show you is QuestionPro, and as I said before, Robert Morris does have a site license for this, so you don't have to worry about signing up for a free version or a trial version, as long as you go to rmu.questionpro.com. Don't go to just QuestionPro. You want the rmu.questionpro.com. And QuestionPro is like SurveyMonkey. It's a very powerful survey and questionnaire tool. Very powerful. It has a lot of features that I won't have time to get into today, like setting up mailing lists where you can track the people who responded and who didn't, and send out reminders. And I've really, pretty much everything, you can build logic into it, so it can take different paths depending upon how they answer a question. It's really powerful stuff. So just to show you, do we have time for them to do it, or you just want me to show them?
I've got a little less than 10 minutes, so
Okay.
if you think there's time to have them take a quick poll, let's do that. If not, that's okay too.
I set up a real quick and easy one ahead of time. When you start a survey, the nice thing about this is it starts you out with built-in text or default text. So for example, just by virtue of starting a new survey, it gives you a head start of an intro, and you of course can edit it and make it say whatever you want. So I think this is pretty close to the default intro that they give you. I chose to have the participants check off that they agree to this before to let them continue. So they'll actually have to check that box before it'll go into the survey. And then I have 5 simple questions here. I wanted to show you the different types of questions that it could do. So I have here, what is your favorite food? This is a pick one kind of question. So the radio buttons, they can only choose one option. The next question here, what is your favorite pizza topping? This is a select many. So with this one, notice that there are check boxes instead of radio buttons, so they can pick as many things, or select as many things that apply. We have ratings, and there's lots of different options for this one. Just to do a quick example here, I chose the stars. There's happy faces. You can even upload your own pictures. You can upload your own graphics to this and use it for the rating scales. There's matrix type questions, which is this next one. They call this a matrix. So here we're rating this restaurant, I guess, on these different things: price, cleanliness, service, menu choices, and we have our Likert kind of scale from very dissatisfied to satisfied. And by the way, obviously you can export this stuff. You can assign point values to these things. So I could export the words into a spreadsheet, or I could I could assign scores to each one of these. So if I want to compare means, I could have a score associated with each one of these responses and export those to a spreadsheet. And then this last one's open-ended text.
How would you quantify then some of those scales? Is it like just a one-time answer, or like how would you recommend this to be used in classroom? Like I understand how this is used to quantify information regarding like statistics, but for classroom usage, what would be your recommendation
You mean how you might use something like this?
for the classroom?
I mean, you could use it to see what they know coming into the class. Like tell them to take this before they come to class and see how they did.
So like testing knowledge.
Yeah.
Almost as a pre-test, post-test kind of option then.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know, what you know at the beginning, what you know at the
It's a
end.
really good idea.
And he can control the number of times he can take his survey, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yes. I'm in the preview mode here, so it's previewing my survey. And if you look over here on the left, I'm sorry, the right, if you look over here on the right, there's different preview options. So you can see what the survey is going to look like on a computer, a tablet, or a smartphone. So if you want to see what your survey is going to look like when they bring it up on their smartphone, you can pick the smartphone option. And it brings up, looks like an iPhone. At least it's not a Galaxy Note 7. Brings up a phone, and you can see how the questions are going to appear when they take it on their smartphone. So again, you could have them. Oh, I forgot to show you that. It gives you a link up here, and you can edit this link, so you can make it somewhat friendly. I meant to make it 2016, and I made a typo. Whoops. I can fix that. The only thing is, it has to be a name that no one else has used.
Mm-hmm.
So if I pick a name that someone else is using, it'll stop me.
So do you go up to the .com/ and then you could change after that, or how far back can you go?
The only
I
part
can't
that you
see
can
from back
change
here.
is this right here. So I called this survey Food 2016. That's the only part that you can edit.
Okay.
And then you have to leave in the .questionpro.com.
Okay, so what a www is, you can customize with what you want. So you up there, you're saying it says Food 2016.
Right. So if you go on your computer or your smartphone or whatever,
So I could make an argument and research course kind of thing.
if we type in food2016.questionpro.com, so you could give them that link, put that link up on the board in the classroom, and that's going to take them right to the survey.
Okay.
And then once you collect the responses, as you can see, there's lots of things that you can do in terms of analysis and reporting. I'm just going to go to this main dashboard here. So it does some basic analysis on its own. So it looks like, I put some responses in here just to have some data. So it looks like 13 people looked at it, or it was looked at 13 times. 7 people started it, but 3 people ended up completing it. So it gives you a completion rate. 4 people dropped out. Gives you an average time that people took to complete it. And then it breaks it down question by question from the responses. So there's what's your favorite food, what's your favorite pizza topping, how would you rate your last visit, oh, and here's that matrix question where it asks about the service and the cleanliness, and so each one of those is broken down. And then finally, there should be a open-ended text question where they could type in the free-form text. And by the way, this also has that word cloud capability, but that only works if there's keywords that people use. So like in that first example where I had the movies, I said sci-fi movie. I figured a lot of people would pick Star Wars. That's why Star Wars was the biggest. So if the more, well, you know how the word cloud works. The more times people pick that exact word, the bigger it's going to be on the word cloud. So I didn't turn it on for this one, but if a lot of people said the restaurant smelled bad or had a bad smell, and smell was really large on the word cloud, then you might have a problem.
Gary, thank you.
Sure.
So you got Poll Everywhere, Kahoot, and QuestionPro.
QuestionPro.
Just as a quick reminder before we wrap up here, next week we take the week off. So we'll gather again in 2 weeks, and I will get some information to you well in advance of the presenter and information that he is going to be speaking about, etc. So otherwise, Gary, again, my thanks, and enjoy the rest of the week.
If you want to email me any questions, just Davis at RMU.
Thank you, this is very useful.